Okay guys, we're back. This time it's episode 26, and I'm going to be a small character because I'm going to have to end up repeating characters anyway, so I'm going to use a couple of small characters on and off throughout mirror mode since I mostly ignored small characters. I'm saving some small characters for 200, but then I'm just going to end up repeating characters. This is 150cc mirror mode, and we're going to do Shell Cop. Small characters are really interesting because they go almost entirely acceleration with, like, no speed.
They can't go far because of their tiny legs, but I guess their legs are so tiny they don't have to move them very much, so they build up
Like,
speed.
Just as a good example, like, you see, ATVs, these are better vehicles for tiny characters because you equal out a little bit more.
I don't remember what setup it was, but there was a tiny character you could get to max acceleration was this one character. Or it would be like half a bar was missing.
So to basically, like, equal out here, I'm going to have half speed and a tiny bit of acceleration, because that's the best we're going to do. So I'm actually...
So go back to the sled. Actually, wait, what does the monster do? Go up.
I'm just checking a couple of other ones, Carson.
Hmm.
Because there was... Yeah.
It's about the same.
This is a little bit better. My excel and handling are really good, but my speed is about half. So.
Handling has always been the most important stat in a racing game to me.
Anywho, so, as always, I'm going to be quiet while the game is loading. If I have to restart and I earn a cart part, that will be before the end slate. If I have to restart, my most bullshit fails will be before the end slate. Or a single fail. It all depends on what we're doing. If I do this in one go, then I will just transition into the end slate as normal. But you never know. Because last part, almost did it in one go, and I lost right at the fucking end of the part. Let me tell you, that was fucking stupid. But anyway, see you guys in a minute here. I have a interesting discussion topic, but we'll cover that while doing races, or change topics if we're restarting a lot. Okay, normally I would do an introduction on that one screen, but I'm just trying to get back into this where I had pressed A. This is a second attempt. My first attempt was lost because right at the goddamn end of a course, I had a really bad set of luck. And because it's Mario Kart, when you get really bad RNG, you just can't win. Last time, and at least that was a little bit into a cop and not like entirely at the end of it. You'll see that in the film montage.
You had one more track left.
I was talking about the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy came out, and that was a remake of the 3 classic Crash games. And I was talking about this interesting question some people asked. But first, in this track, I made a joke about, I said if I had a PS4, I'd be all over that. So I said, anyone want to donate? Because, and then I said, I also want to play Night in the Woods, damn it. Someone give me a PS4, but... Anyway, I take donations. Just contact me on Discord. Oh, of course. I'd use the super horn. Of course.
Oh,
of course I use the super horn. Of course the blue shell comes. That's really stupid timing. So, Anyway, someone in a video that was getting a lot of hate proposed a question of who should a remake be for and what should a remake do, because they were complaining about parts of the Crash just don't feel good. And I was going to give my own opinion of remakes because
I think a remake should cater to people that have never played it before, because you see, this is why, and I'm going to plug a YouTuber that's fucking incredible. I can't remember the name of his channel at the moment, but his series is Remake or Rebreak, to where he looks at, well, a game and
link in the description.
He looks at a game and basically it's remake, and I love that series because I think it was his Mario 64 video.
Mario 64 DS, I feel is definitively the better game, and his video is how I feel. But this isn't about plugging a random guy.
My point was, the reason I was bringing it up, in the video, he says he tries, like, when he gives a basically remake his highest score, he does so because he tries to look at it from the perspective of people that have never played, a party that has never played either game, which would be the definitive one for someone to start with. I feel the same way. I think a remake should be acceptable for, you know, people that have never played the game before.
And I feel also it's 4th of July, so ignore the fireworks. They're picking up on my mic. There's just nothing I can do. Sorry guys, can't control people on the 4th, but I feel remakes, I'm going to try to talk over those, but I feel a remake is a perfect opportunity, first of all, to fix a game that had some crippling flaws or stupid design. Parts of the Crash did this, where Crash 1 did not have analog control because it was that early in the PlayStation 1 life, and it did not even have standard saving. It had passwords and a backup save only if you had a memory card where you could save in bonus rooms and for gems.
That was it.
It did not have the it did not have the standard saving. Sean, and I said this on this track, Sean is basically in this camp where he feels remakes are always just kind of lazy cash grabs and should basically never happen. I made a joke, but yet he was all over the Kingdom Hearts HD collection, which, to be fair, at least Final Mix was never here, which is a good reason for a remake, to bring a localized version to the States for certain games that either never came out here, or, in the case of Final Mix, a superior game that never came out here.
And also in the special case of Kingdom Hearts, for 2.8 specifically, and well, I guess the first two HD collections, you now have the entire series is either on basically one PS4 disc or like two PS3 discs, so you don't have to own a bunch of different consoles to essentially play catch-up. That's a very specific case because of how Square has handled this.
But Kingdom Hearts, aside here, I feel no game shouldn't have a remake, especially if the remake is fixing fundamental flaws in the game, because if you just take a game as it is, and you, like, never go back and change a bunch of shit, a lot of games, especially a bunch of older ones, are just kind of terribly designed due to their era. And what I was going to say last time, before I got interrupted and cut off by losing, was, now, I understand when you've played a game for years that you want the game to feel like you remember it. And a remake, if the feeling is off, that can really fuck with you. But, hold on, sorry. Getting that feel down, that I kind of understand, but at the same time, if you're outright improving on just archaic design or fixing shit, because another thing Crash did for Crash 1 and this is really good. So in Crash 1, if you destroy all the boxes in a level, you get a clear silver gem. In Crash 1, if you die, your box total is void.
Yeah, I think to be fair, I think this was a glitch.
But
if you died, your box total would be reset back to 0, so you couldn't get the box gem if you died. Now you can die and get the box gem.
That's a good change.
Yeah.
A remake is the perfect time to update and fix a game and get it oftentimes to the standards of future releases.
You also, in a remake, could potentially add in the content that was not going to be there. Like, in the case of Crash 1, there were 2 levels that were cut from the game. I believe they were both done, but they were cut from the final game because they were thought to be too difficult, so the developers, they just cut them. They're going to add them back in the Insane Trilogy.
Mm-hmm. To me, I feel if the people, and what I'm about to say, is kind of an interesting point. Do not cater to older fans if the older fans are against positive changes for the better. Like in the case of Crash, if older fans had said to leave certain things, oh good. If older fans had said to leave some of these changes out,
but this is like the one rare instance.
Oh, cool.
But this is the one rare instance to where, unlike something like a permadeath, you have everyone just unanimously complain that this was terrible. Also, did you intend to play Toad here because of Toad's Turnpike?
That was the plan in my head at the time.
Okay, and final point, which is a quick point, that this could also be a specific case for, Crash. I've seen people arguing this. Apparently, part of the reason things in the game feel off, because of how old the original Crash series was, the PS1 copies of the game ran at 30 frames a second, because this is a shiny, 4K PS4 remake that's been rebuilt from the ground up. It now runs at it now runs at 60 frames a second. Because of the frame rate increase, everything is apparently a smidge faster, so it messes with people's muscle memory because they've developed the timing for the 30 frames a second.
And then some people apparently doing comparisons said the hitboxes and the physics are just off because they're physics that control, like, the later Crash games. So Crash 1 just...
Well, that's because this will be a bit of a lengthier point to explain that. Because it's a PS4 game, I don't know how much of the game was built from the ground up. I would assume all of it, but that could potentially... This is going to be a weird-ass comparison, I know, but I'm about to acknowledge...
I forgot there was a bike called the Duke.
I was going to say, I know this
Damn fireworks.
I know this will be a weird-ass comparison. This is going to take a minute, but I'm about to refer to a Call of Duty Modern Warfare on the Wii.
Interesting.
What? I want to make my point.
Bit more speed.
Oh, it did the inni.
You can make your point, I just noticed, and I was like, oh.
Anyway, it's a weird analogy, but it's the best way I can think to explain this. I'm going to refer to Call of Duty Modern Warfare on the Wii. Yes, there is a Wii version of the first Modern Warfare. I bet no one knew that. Basically, what it was in that game, because the HD version of Modern Warfare ran at 60 frames a second, everything was basically, its speed was built around running at 60 frames a second. The Wii version, because it's on the Wii, was cut down to 30. Because it was cut down to 30, when you fire a bullet, it's moving at half the speed, so it's basically skipping as it moves. It's doing this to catch up. Because it's doing this, it will oftentimes not even hit the target or flat out phase through it. If the hitboxes and everything in the original Crash series were designed, again, for a game that runs at 30 frames a second, bumping all of that up to 60 would desync everything.
To finish my thought, and again, fireworks, America Day, you know.
My joke.
But this part just might be named America Day. But
well, Toad does have red, white, and blue on his design.
This is true. This is very true. So, back out of the one menu, but to finish my thought, the best thing a remake should do, and this is why I feel any game can be remade. A remake is not just a lazy cash grab if the remake... Is that fireworks or rain?
That's those sparkler things.
Oh, yeah. Again, America Day, but a remake is the best time to, especially as gaming standards change, to make a definitive version of a game that removes and fixes major problems of an era. And if done right, this remake would then be just better than the original, because the original's flaws are now gone. Super Mario 64 DS, to me, and like with the remake or rebreak, it is just better. I don't care what anyone says. Do not complain about the controls, because a lot of people do, and I need to ramble about this in some other videos. Again, not at the end of a Mario Kart part, but the game is just better. A remake is the perfect opportunity to make a game and rework it so that it is now better than it was. The best version of Wind Waker is the HD remake on the Wii U. Because the end of the game was reduced down to a way that is less obnoxious.
It's actually fun now.
The best thing a remake should do, you shouldn't entirely ignore old fans, but the game should be made in a way that new people can enjoy it, and it is a perfect time, especially to use the Crash as an example, to buck a lot of 90s platformer-isms and have a game that's up to a more modern standard. That's what a remake should be. It should just be something that an old fan can enjoy, but it should be designed and in a way almost catering to new people so they can have a good version of a game And normally, if you're fixing a lot of stupid shit in a game, as in like the end of Wind Waker, you just have a better product that by proxy people would enjoy, because the stupid bullshit.
The one remake where 95% of people agree that it's better is like the Resident Evil 1 remake on GameCube. That's the only one I've seen like unanimously across the board. Everyone brings up that it's better.
I'm about to end this, but to me, that is what a remake should be. Revitalizing an old game with modern hardware to fix problems and maybe even add content. And there is a long list of old games I would love to see remade. Just because I would love for a bunch of these games to have modern standards, because a lot of games, especially in the past, in like the N64 era and stuff, have too many crippling flaws. And those flaws, I feel, if they're changed and gone, you just have a definitively better product. And to me, the Crash is just definitively better. Outside of people complaining about physics, to me, the bigger changes of better saving, better checkpoints, and better nuances in the game, that means a lot to me, because even if it was unintentional in the original, oh, you died! Restart! You want that box gem? You gotta do a no-death run, motherfucker!
Though I don't believe they fixed Cold Hard Crash. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, I thought the system was gonna go off.
Okay, that's a sign that we should stop.
Yep, remake discussions are probably going to come up a lot, but my feeling, no game is above being remade, but as time goes on, later games that are just inherently... Oh, I have just one quick point to use Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for this argument. Mario Kart 8 was a good game. As they did small little updates and tweaks, and added DLC and stuff, it was a better game. This is a straight port that fixed a couple of little things that were still kind of problems in 8. This gave you some new stuff, and you got all the DLC. Mario Kart 8 was more of a port than a remake, since the base game was not in need of retooling. And to me, that's... a lot of people look at a port as lazy, but if the game... even just a port, if you do a little bit of fixing, can be good, and I'm about to end this rambling, but... I feel a true remake should be for old games with, like, fundamental flaws, or just a way to fix one or two big flaws in an otherwise really good game. A port, I don't mind if the base game was good, because Mario Kart 8, that, despite what a lot of people say, even though I've seen a lot of love for Mario Kart 8, it's a good game. People call this port lazy, but it's a good game!
And last...
Need to be
ending
this.
Last point, I don't entirely know if it's considered a port. Apparently, the Switch version of Yooka-Laylee, the developers are going to fix a bunch of the problems people had with the other versions. I don't know how far that will go, but yeah, apparently they're fixing it.
I'm about to end this. We need longer videos to ramble these kind of points, because otherwise... I made a joke in a part that I believe has been edited at this point, where it's like, what do you mean your video's 40 minutes? What do you mean you ramble for like 30? Or like 20-something. Anyway, this has been episode 26 of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I did 150cc Mirror Mode Shell Cup. If you hear Carson, he's sitting down while I'm doing my outro, so that's kind of noisy, but there's the damn fireworks because America Day. But I'm about to be ending this. I've rambled long enough. I have a fail coming up in a moment. I hope that fail makes you guys laugh. If I did a small cut, it was because Carson left the room, so the audio is just going to kind of maybe blip for a second, so I can have a proper, quiet outro. Anyway, see you guys next time! First of all, when it comes to a remake, I do... Oh, come on, no, damn it. Up! Basic, okay, yep, I've lost. Yep. Restarting. This is the found montage. Don't know how I'm gonna cut into that point, but I was rambling on, but of course, fucking final Rachel. If I didn't get hit.
Well, that was a big one.
Fuck this game. Okay, guys, so my question of the day is, what do you prefer in a remake, and what are your overall thoughts on remakes as a whole? I think this topic is really interesting, so I would really love to hear from you guys. You can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments below, or you can leave them on social media. All my social media links are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a show for a minute. If you liked my video, please hit the like button and leave some comments. If you're new to my channel and want to see more of my videos, please hit the subscription button and subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please ring the bell next to the subscription button. That gives you the proper notifications of whenever I upload a new video. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media. Doing all of these things really helps out the channel, and it really helps our communities grow. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys next time.